What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. In this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down the chart that's developing on Tesla, what you should be watching for as time progresses, and how things are looking in my honest opinion. But before I break into detail all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, for Tesla, this thing is technically still on an uptrend as we established a higher low relative to this low right here. And you could argue that Tesla has a cup and handle like structure that's developing that could lead to a breakout in the future. But whether or not we get that breakout is going to be determined by the FOMC meeting. We have the FOMC meeting tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. is when we have a lot of data coming out. And at 2:30 p.m., we have Jerome Powell giving a speech tomorrow. So that's going to determine if the market continues to push or if we get a big rug pull. As of right now, Tesla has been trading sideways very close to 172. Not really doing much, but there is potential for this to push higher nonetheless. Now, when it comes to news involving Tesla, there's been a lot of talk about Elon Musk taking certain prescription drugs and him getting a lot of criticism for it, but he is defending his position, saying it's necessary for Tesla's future and helped him do what he had to do to achieve what had to be achieved. So that is what has been said. I don't really want to focus too much on that. I know the media is just screaming about Musk doing this and that. It's just insane. But for now, I'm seeing a lot of headlines talking about the Chinese numbers. And Chinese numbers are not the best for Tesla because of potential slowing demand. And that's something we could prove by looking at the previous data. I showed you guys the data in the previous video, so just look at my previous video if you want to see that. And then besides that, there's been a lot of talks about Tesla adding another $4,800 in potential discounts over there, which is once again fueling this price war that's been leading to more headlines and more fear amongst Tesla investors. So there have been a lot of price cuts going on in Tesla. They're also doing a lot of what they can to give more discounts to incentivize more growth. And it's been working for them to some extent. Their overall numbers are not the worst, but they are still declining relative to what we've seen in the past. Now, on top of this, and for that reason, we're seeing a lot of negative headlines about Tesla's next report. We're seeing a lot of articles bringing back the things that were said by Jonas from Morgan Stanley, Adam Jonas, as he cut his overall Tesla price target. And we saw UBS and Wells Fargo do the same thing. So for that reason, looking at what previous analysts were saying from last week, we're seeing some headlines saying that the first quarter ending in just 2 weeks, Tesla may be on track for a delivery miss. That is not the best of news. Right now, we're expecting about 487,000 deliveries. We'll see if that ends up being the case. But for now, with these predictions, coming out, if Tesla misses, it's not going to be the best of news. We still have a couple of weeks. I'd like to remain optimistic. I'm hoping Tesla does well, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll see what happens with this. We are seeing a lot of headlines talking about potential delivery miss for Tesla. Hopefully, it does not end up happening. What is Tesla doing right now in terms of technicals? It's just very sideways. It's been stuck between 170 and about 172 for the last 4 hours. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Price action, very, very boring. And this is what I told you guys about what could happen in my earlier video. I said to everyone that Tesla may drop a bit. It could rebound a little bit. Then it's going to trade kind of sideways. That's what's been happening. Now, you could argue we have a cup and handle. It's going to likely pump. Yes, that's a strong possibility. It could actually pump off this cup and handle like structure, but no promises should be made until we hear what Jerome Powell has to say tomorrow. So the best thing to do is just wait it out, give this thing some time, and that's going to be very necessary. The chart is looking a bit more bullish, though. We actually established a higher low relative to these lows here, so I could see Tesla attempt to push higher later on, technically speaking. So it is still favoring bulls somewhat more, but just be very careful because FOMC is going to be another big factor. Now, for other pieces of news, I just want to mention that for SPY made a very, very nice bounce. I was talking about how it's going to likely pump, but then I was looking for a potential rejection that could be coming. We haven't really gotten much of a rejection yet. It hasn't happened yet. And overall, the chart is looking bullish because we're continuing to get bought up and we're trying to break past this high from yesterday. So the chart is still doing a little bit better than expected on SPY. We did pump as I predicted, but the rejection didn't come yet. So we'll see if it gets some kind of reaction from this resistance. We're currently testing 515.5. If we break past this, we could go all the way up to 516.5 soon. If we fail here, we're going to likely come back down. So we're at resistance right now. With tomorrow, with Jerome Powell, if the guy pumps the market, SPY could be on its way back up to all-time highs, if not 520 plus. If he gives us the rug pull, SPY is going to be on its way down to at least 510, if not below that. We'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see what move comes. As of right now, SPY has been pushing up to 515. Now it's kind of trading sideways up there. For the QQQ, it's the same thing. This is doing a little bit better than what I was actually thinking. I thought we might come up to this yellow trend line, maybe a little bit higher than come back down, but we didn't actually reject it. We broke past the trend line, and now the QQQ is showing a lot of life. So that's actually a very, very good sign. And now we can actually try to adjust this trend line just to show you guys where the resistance happens to be. So with that being said, I mean, for the QQQ, we're basically approaching resistance very close to this 439 zone. If we break past this, watch for 440 and eventually 442. If we come back down, make sure you watch 438 and then 436 as our supports. As of right now, it's looking strong, so it's looking pretty good. There is a good chance it may try to continue higher. Now, watch resistance as we get closer to 440. I think that it may see a lot of choppy price action up here, and then we'll have to see what else determines this. What else is helping to fuel this is going to be Nvda. Nvidia is attempting to rebound after its event took place. Nice bounce on Nvidia filling its gap, and we're also testing 900. If we break past that, watch 908 and then 920. For support, watch 892, 885, and etc. Nvidia is showing some life with this nice little rebound. Even though the chart was looking bearish at first, I want to just warn you all to be a little careful because we had this resistance up here. We could even draw out like a little trend line. Let me just try doing this for 1 second. So we had this resistance. If we start from this top right here and we kind of connect it like this, you could draw it out kind of like this, and you guys can see that Nvidia has resistance that's fighting right now. If we break past that yellow trend line of resistance, we could push even more. But as of right now, we're going to be watching to see how it reacts to this 900 zone. That's going to be key, at least for Nvidia right now. This line doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure you guys get the general idea of what Nvidia is doing. We're at resistance, so we'll see how it does. But whether we get a bigger push or not will be determined by Jerome Powell. That's going to be key as well. Now, moving forward, we also have another ticker such as Aapl to be discussing. Aapl, in my opinion, is finally showing a little bit more life. I said in my video that it might actually push a bit since we had an accumulation forming here, but I thought it might hit like 175.2, 175.75, and maybe go up to 176. I wasn't too sure about it going this high, but we managed to achieve that. It's going just as planned. It is pushing as we predicted, and now we're going to be watching resistance because I was worried it might actually come down a bit later on and then try to form like a cup and handle or something different. But overall, Aapl is showing life. We're going to be watching 176.5 as resistance. If we break that, it's going to make this double top here at 177. Watch 175.75 as support. As right now, it might shuffle between this range, but I do see potential for Aapl to push higher. We'll see what Jerome Powell causes, guys, but that is it for the update. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. And actually, let me just go over one or two more. I know a lot of people want me to always give you guys some updates on Super Micro. So we came down to about 863, just a little bit above our 850 target. Now we're trying to rebound a bit. We're retesting 900. If we break past that, watch for a push towards 950. That's going to be a real possibility if we keep getting a breakout from here. We have to try to break past 923.9. If we break that, I see 950 coming on Super Micro. So there could be a bounce. Amazon's attempting to bounce too. You guys can see it. If we break past 175, we could be on our way to about 178. And for Meta, we got a nice balance on Meta. We came all the way down to 481. We were talking about the drop that was coming. It came. Now we're making a full recovery. And if we continue to hold above 494, we could be on our way to at least 500 very soon. So Meta got a nice bounce. And this is some good news, at least for some bulls out there. So some stocks are showing some life and very, very nice signs of bounces. We'll see if this continues. Tesla is trying to push a little bit, but like I said before, technicals aren't everything. Make sure you listen to see what Jerome Powell ends up saying. Jerome Powell will determine if you get a bigger bounce or not. So just be careful, and it is what it is. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, guys. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, and peace out.